What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix and welcome to my 100% Lovakengj house favor guide. This video gives a brief overview of why you should get 100% favor, the requirements, and the fastest ways to get to 100%. Lovakengj favor is one of the slowest houses to do in the Great Kuren, but it can be sped up if you have a decent smithing level. Some of the rewards for getting to 100% are vital for training your account. At 65% favor, you gain access to the Lovakengj minecart network, providing fast transportation to 6 locations. With 100% Lovakengj favor, you're allowed to use the blast mine. The blast mine allows you to mine rocks 10 levels higher than your current level, giving a great share between profit and experience. There's also an elite clue that requires you to make Shasian 2 armor, which requires 40% favor to complete. I'd quickly like to note that as of an update last year in 2018, you no longer need to lock in your favor in any house. They no longer decrease when you gain favor in any of the other houses. Also, the Client of Kuren quest no longer rewards double the favor. So, in total, there's 5 ways to gain Lovakengj favor. Firstly is mining volcanic sulfur, and each one you mine has a 1 in 3 chance of giving you 0.1% favor, so approximately each one is equal to 0.033% favor. With the sulfur and a wide range of other ingredients, you can make dynamite, and the entire process finishing off the dynamite gives 0.1% favor. At 30%, you can begin making Shasian armor sets, and creating the higher level armor sets is the fastest way possible to get Lovakengj favor. Once you reach 65%, you can hand out minecart scrolls to each minecart location, each one giving 5% favor, totaling 25% in total. It's recommended to do this as soon as you unlock it or before reaching 75% favor to get you through to 100%. You can also get yourself a 10% Lovakengj favor certificate by completing the Forsaken Tower quest, which requires 20% Lovakengj favor, and completing the Client of Kuren quest. In terms of how long each one takes, the times vary a lot depending on your levels. All of these assume going through to 75% favor and then completing the minecart scrolls to 100%. Mining only sulfur through to 75% can take 2 to 5 hours depending on your mining level. Creating dynamite is a longer term process like farming, since you need to create juniper charcoal and it takes 16 hours to make the charcoal, which you can spend doing other skills. But then once you have the charcoal, to get to 75% creating dynamites will take 1 to 2 hours on a normal account, but as an Iron Man it can take well over 4 hours. Creating armor is the fastest way, as I said, although the armor unlocked at 30% is around the same speed as making dynamite, so it's better to start at 40% all the way through to 75%. If you made tier 2, 3, 4, and 5 armor, it'll only take 30 minutes to 1 hour, although it does have very high requirements. Overall, getting from 0 to 100% favor, the fastest way possible is to mine sulfur from 0 to 20%, then do the Forsaken Tower quest at 20% to 30% favor, then making armor sets through to 75%, then 100% with the minecart scrolls. The one and only requirement to get all the way through to 100% favor is to have at least 42 mining, and that's to mine sulfur. Having a higher mining level, as I said, will really speed up your favor gain. If you want to create dynamite for favor, you'll also need 42 woodcutting as well as mining. Creating armor has even higher requirements. You need 65 mining as well as 53 smithing to make tier 1 armor. To have a much better favor per hour, it's recommended to have at least 63 smithing, with 73, 83, and 93 being much better. A higher mining level, once again, is better since you'll mine a lot faster. Each of the methods also have certain armor and food requirements, but I'll explain more about those when I go into depth of each one. So starting off with mining volcanic sulfur. The sulfur mine is located at the northwestern end of the Lovakengj region. To mine, you'll of course need a pickaxe, but you'll also need something to cover your face, whether it be a face mask, a gas mask, or a Slayer helmet. There's multiple sulfur deposits around the mine, but my favorite one to use is all the way to the west, since it's the least populated with clouds and there's lots of walls and objects in the way of them. Within the area, there are clouds which will deal 1 or 2 damage when you stand near them. These clouds are weird in that they'll only deal damage if you're to the south or to the west of them, so this makes standing on the southwestern corners of the sulphur rock the best place to minimize your damage. I've read some posts about people using the nearby spider to block clouds from going onto you. Well, I tried this for around 2 hours and it doesn't change anything. The clouds will ignore any NPC or player that it comes into contact with and shifts right over them. In the cases where a cloud does go under you or near you, you will need food. This place is very dangerous for low level. The clouds consistently hit 1s and 2s every game tick. So if you have only 10 to 20 hit points, you'll need to keep a really close eye on your client. So with that, you'll need to bring along food. As a higher level player, the best to bring along is Saradomin Brews, which at 99 hit points heals 64 hit points per full brew. If a cloud does begin to damage you and isn't quickly moving away, I recommend swapping the corner that you're standing on, or if there's a cloud there as well, you should run behind the vent to the north, or you can quickly hop world to be able to mine again quickly. Since the respawn time for each completely mined sulphur rock is around 15 seconds, I recommend hopping world as soon as you finish mining one of them, because even if you do take damage from the clouds, it doesn't hold you in game for being in combat. It doesn't count as combat. Getting from 0% to 75% requires 2,853 sulphur, which as I said takes 2 to 5 hours depending on your mining level. The process is pretty simple, so you can either drop or bank the sulphur that you get, but that depends on whether you want to create dynamite for Favour. Creating dynamite, as I said, also needs 42 woodcutting. The ingredients that make up dynamite are a pot, saltpeter, volcanic sulphur, juniper charcoal, and a ball of wool. Each completed dynamite gives 0.1% Favour. Well, if you take into account the Favour you get from mining sulphur, you'll need approximately 570 of each item to make 570 dynamite to get you from 0% to 75% Favour. You can buy pots, saltpeter, and balls of wool off the Grand Exchange. This method overall isn't really recommended for Iron Men because gathering the saltpeter will take some time unless you already have them from drop. Saltpeter can be obtained by taking a spade to the saltpeter deposits, which are south of the new Forgotten Ruins that came with the Hosidius house update. You can buy a lot of pots from the general store in the Lovakengj house, and balls of wool can also be bought from general stores across the Kurand area. I already just showed you how to gather volcanic sulphur, but instead of dropping them, you will need to bank them for however many dynamite you need. The process of creating juniper charcoal, as I said, takes 16 hours of waiting time. You can cut juniper logs directly south of the Kurand player-owned house portal. Each log that you get can be converted into 50 charcoal, so if you need 300 dynamite, you only need 6 logs. After cutting your logs, head further south to the furnaces next to the bank, add the logs to one of the furnaces, and pay the dwarf nearby Smoggy to watch over it, 600 coins. 16 hours later, you'll receive the juniper charcoal, which is all stackable. Once you have all of the supplies, start by withdrawing all of the juniper charcoal, as well as 9 saltpeter, 9 sulphur, and 9 pots. Use them on each other to make dynamite pots. Continue doing this until you've used up all of your supplies and have a big stack of dynamite pots, then withdraw 14 pots and 14 balls of wool, and proceed to finish the process of making dynamite, granting you the Favour. To create Shazian armor sets, you'll need your pickaxe, runes for superheat item, so nature runes, and a fire staff. You'll also need coal, depending on how many bars and armor sets you make. To be safe, you should begin with at least 400 coal in your bank. The start of the process is gathering lo-va-kane ore. Depending on how much Favour you need, I recommend grabbing at least a few inventories and banking them to be the most efficient. Once you have some banked, withdraw a fire staff and nature runes for superheat item, as well as 9 lo-va-kane ore and 18 coal. If you don't have superheat item or want to save some money, you can head over to the huge furnace located at the Xerix Inferno teleport and smelt them there. With the lo-va-kane bars, grab an inventory of them and a hammer and make your way to the Varrock anvil. There is also an anvil in the Lovakengj area, but it's really far away from a bank. When making the sets of armor, you should do some quick maths to work out how many of each item you need to make. You can divide the total number of bars you have by 11, and then that's how many of each armor piece you need to make. So once you've smithed all your bars into armor pieces, you need to package the armor sets into supply crates. To get the armor crates, you need to go to one of the 5 houses that I've circled in the Lovakengj area. By searching the drawers, it gives you 100 supply crates, and you can drop them and grab more to stack them up. With all of the armor sets, you then need to go to the specific armorer for that tier. All of their houses have the purple current Favour symbol, and they're the same houses that you can get the supply crates from. So these are tier specific, so once you've made a certain type of armor, you need to go to the correct armorer and hand them in to get your Favour. The last part of this guide, I'm going to show you where to hand out the minecart scrolls, and the process of giving the scroll to a dwarf will unlock that minecart stop as well as give you 5% Favour. To get started, you need to speak to Miriam just outside of the Lovakengj southeast bank, and as long as you have 65% Favour, she'll give you 5 stackable minecart scrolls, as well as unlocking her minecart station. Just so you know, every minecart ride you take will cost you 50 coins, but by talking to Miriam here, you can pay her 100k, and that permanently makes every ride free. Now for handing out the other 5 scrolls. The fastest possible teleports that I recommend bringing are firstly the Xerix Talisman, plus it really helps if you have the Xerix Honor teleport, access to fairy rings, so a Draymond staff, the Memoirs book, which is rewarded from the client of Kurend, a skills necklace to get to the Woodcutting Guild, along with a few Kurend teleports and stamina potion. The first one to drop off is north of the infirmary in the Shazian house. The fastest way here is to use a Kurend teleport spell on the normal spellbook, or alternatively the Xerix Lookout teleport takes you really close as well. After speaking to Mogrim and handing over your scroll, make your way north of the Woodcutting Guild. The fastest way here is to use the skills necklace, or alternatively use the Xerix Lookout teleport again, and that's pretty close by running east. Speak to Traxi and give over your scroll, and the next station is in the Arceus house. The fastest way here is to use the CIS Fairy Ring teleport, only if you've already paid to unlock it. So alternatively, you can use the Memoirs book, the A Dark Disposition teleport, or teleport to Kurend using the spell and run north. Hand over your scroll to Loinar, and then you need to head near the Port Piscarilius boat docks. A quick way there is to use the Kurend teleport and run east, or if you've done the Queen of the Thieves quest, you can use the Memoirs book with a teleport very close by. Another alternative is to walk there, since some people won't have those teleports. After speaking to Rayleigh and giving over your 4th minecart scroll, you'll need to head to the Chambers of Xeric, so Raids 1. The quickest way here is using the Xerix Honor teleport on the Xerix Talisman. If you don't have that, you need to make your way to the entry of the Lizardman area, and if you've spoken to the mountain guide at Raids before, he'll take you straight there through all of the Lizardmen. Otherwise, you'll need to run past the variety of monsters all the way to the top of the mountain. Here you can talk to Staliet and give over your last scroll. So now you have every single minecart station unlocked, as well as 5% Favour per scroll you handed out, so 25% altogether. The fastest way to one, if you ever want to use one, for example to get to Raids, is to use a skills necklace and run north. That's my Lovakengj Favour guide. If you enjoyed and learned something, be sure to leave a like on the video, and if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe for more old school videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.